All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 10 minutes over time now, but then again, I think today we have a fantastic excuse for this. Most of the people that we expect now on stage to present one of the first images of the lander have been working pretty much 24 hours non-stop, if not longer. You've witnessed them for several hours today and yesterday evening already. They're very busy giving tons of interviews, but they're here with us now, and so we can give you this last brief, media brief that we had promised. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, at this moment, I would like to call on stage Jean-Jacques Dordain, the Director General of ESA, to give us a first update.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, it's a great day. Great day, not only for ESA, but for, I think that for the world. What I can say that we landed, and Philae survived to the landing. We have landed at the right place. It's also the right comet, don't worry. And we have got the radio link, which is obviously very important. And we have the power on board. So when you have the link and the power, you collect data. And this is what my colleagues are doing. You collect data on the spacecraft, on the lander, and you collect data from the scientific instruments which are already working. So that's what I can say. Now, the data have to be analyzed. This is only less than 3 hours that we are on a comet at 500 millions of kilometers. So you have to give some time, and I have to give some time to my colleagues to analyze the data. So they will give you the last news that they have on the data, but I wish that we are careful because we are just at the beginning of something which will last months, and again, we have everything, we have time, and now we have just to work. So I shall now give the floor to the workers, and I think that I give the floor first to you. No,
Stephan.
To Stephan? Okay. So that is one of the scientists who can give you his data because they belong to him. And so I give the floor to Stephan, and after I shall give the floor to the two persons who are in the control center. But first, the scientist, because we are doing that for the scientist. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So my name is Stephan Ulamec. I'm responsible for ROLIS, the descent imager on board the Philae lander. So we're very happy to see that we're starting to receive the data, and we got the first image taken during the descent. The image was taken at a distance of about 3 kilometers from the nucleus, and this is it. On the top side, we see a leg of the lander, which is in the field of view. And as I said, the size of the comet taken from 3 kilometers is about 3 kilometers in size, and we have a resolution about 3 meters per pixel. The landing side is exactly in the middle, so we can confirm that the trajectory was correct, and we had a safe landing, and more images are to come. Thank you.
All right, Stephan Ulamec, PI of the ROLIS. Thank you very much for presenting to us. I know you've been working really, really hard in the PISA room, and you still have to keep on working to get through all the data, but thank you for taking the time to come here now and present this picture to us. Thank you very much. And now, of course, there are two gentlemen. We've seen them sweating blood and tears all day. Stephan Ulamec, the Philae lander manager, and Paolo Ferri, the head of ESA operations. Stephan, let me ask you first, what's the latest?
Okay, It's complicated to land on a comet, and it's not only complicated to land there, it's also, as it appears, very complicated to understand what has happened during this landing or after this landing. Now, what we know is that we touched down, so we landed at the comet at the time when you all saw us cheering and when it was announced. We had a very clear signal there, and we also received data from the lander, housekeeping data, and also science data. That's the very good news. Not so good news is that the anchoring harpoons apparently did not fire. So the lander is not anchored to the surface. And now we started to think about what could be the situation. Did we just land in a soft sandbox and everything is fine, although we are not anchored, anti-ADS did not fire, or is there something else happening? And we looked into the data, and indeed it's interesting, and we still do not fully understand what has happened. So whatever I'm telling you now is a little bit of speculation, so maybe you take this home overnight and think about it, and maybe you come up with another good idea by tomorrow morning. So we had fluctuations in the radio link. Not perfectly regular, but some kind of fluctuations. The signal always came back again immediately, and we were we were always again receiving data, also science data from the lander. I have to say we have very good data already. The Kozak and Ptolemy people are very happy. Well, Rollis got nice images which will soon be released, as I suppose. So this instrument worked very nicely. Also Sesam worked very nicely. Mupus, we got some data. So we have plenty of data. Some of these data, also Roma, indicated that the lander may have lifted off again. We touched down, we're rebouncing very slowly because the landing gear worked perfectly well and it was designed in order to damp the majority of the impact energy. What we saw in the coming about 2 hours was fluctuation not only in the RF link but also on the solar generator, which could be interpreted, again, don't cite me, that's what it is. It could be interpreted that the lander lifted off and started to turn itself because the flywheel was switched off at touchdown, so the lander would start to turn. About 2 hours later, this information of turning on the power generator stopped. We still got radio link, we still get science data from there. So maybe today we didn't just land once, we even landed twice. Okay. At the moment, the radio link is gone again, which is not so surprising. Because Rosetta is behind the horizon, so nominally we will operate now the concert instrument, the tomography, and tomorrow morning, if we re-establish the link and we get the Kozak results, the concert results, Kozak we already got some data, we should know much more, and hopefully we are sitting there on the surface at the position slightly different to the original landing and can continue our science sequence. As I said, everything a bit speculation right now, but this is the status. People in LCC, also in Song, are busy in interpreting what we get, and it's not all so clear, it's not so easy to interpret, but tomorrow morning we should know a lot more.
What do people say? If it was easy, then it would not be rocket science.
Exactly.
But in this case, that's not the case. Thank you very much, Stephan Ulamec, for this update. Fantastic, thank you so much. Paolo.
Yes.
Operations.
Right, so what else can I say from the ESOC side? These guys are very busy analyzing the telemetry, and we just left a meeting where jointly the people in the 3 control centers were exchanging information to come solid conclusions on all the speculations that Stephan was mentioning. On the ESOC side, I can say we have all good indications, although not an exact number now, of a very precise first landing. Also, we use the, well, not we, but the camera teams use the Rollis images to confirm that we landed very, very close to the original planned center of our big error ellipse. So the error ellipse was eventually, the real error was much smaller than the error ellipse. That we can state, we will be more precise. I think the song people have already the exact coordinates of the first landing. We lost the radio link earlier than planned, which is something that we never like, but this is not at the moment concerning, because depending on the orography, this estimation on the Rosetta was going below the horizon, and so when you have a horizon with hills and boulders and whatever, it is expected that your estimation on the end of signal is imprecise. So we have now, Rosetta will do another maneuver, which was planned, and so for several hours we'll be out of contact, and tomorrow morning hopefully we'll establish the contact in the planned window, and in the meantime these people will have time to look at the telemetry and will know more. So from our side, we've done this job. Tomorrow we start again and we give them time to look at their data. Thank you.
Brilliant. Paolo Ferri, thank you very much. And of course, you've done this job. You deserve a rest. And I was informed that there will be a full media briefing with all the updates tomorrow at 1400 Central European time. So that should give you a few more hours to figure out what's going on. But right now, thank you so much for the update. We know so much more now. And I, for one, feel so much more comfortable knowing that I've experienced 2 landings in one day. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I hand over back to the Director General of ESA now, Jean-Jacques Dardin.
So, thank you, Paolo and Stephan. And just to say that to know if a mission is a success, I don't need to look at computers or don't look at data that I don't understand. I am just looking at the smile of Paolo and Stephan, and when they are smiling, it means that this is a success. So it's a big success, and it was a great day. Thank you very much.
So, liebe Kollegen.
Thank you, everybody.
Ein sehr spannender Tag neigt sich dem Ende entgegen. Und ich hoffe, mich dann den Worten von Stephan Ulamec anschließen zu können, dass wir nicht nur einmal auf den Kometen gelandet sind, sondern vielleicht sogar zweimal. Aber das werden wir morgen wissen, 14 Uhr. Ich würde Sie einladen wollen, sofern Sie noch in Köln sind, sofern Sie hier sind, um 11 Uhr zur ersten Pressekonferenz von Alexander Gerst, hinten im Europäischen Astronautentrainingszentrum. Und hier würde es dann, wie angekündigt, 14 Uhr weitergehen. Zum einen mit der Übernahme der Pressekonferenz der ESA, aber Sie werden morgen auch hier weitere Ansprechpartner finden. Für heute bedanke ich mich für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit, für Ihr Hiersein. Sollten Sie noch Fragen haben, jederzeit gerne. Und wir würden dann hier ganz langsam runterfahren. Dankeschön, auf Wiedersehen, schönen Heimweg.
I have one question. Why can you not be as excited and jumpy as the woman on ESA?
No comment.
She sounds like she's in the lotto.
Okay, Dankeschön.